guys? Happy Motivational Monday. This is your main man, Coach Richie Rich, aka Coach Babs. Welcome to the Think Strong Be Strong channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Please hit the like and subscribe button and also hit the notifications bell so you know when I'm dropping another video. If you're a returning person, welcome back, guys. I drop a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today should be an exciting one. Let's get cracking, shall we? Hey guys, welcome back. So I believe most times in life we stop or we pause when trying to succeed or go after something because of two things that we don't fully understand properly. And before I get started, let me just start by saying I'm not a guru. I am not a I'm not an advisor, okay? But I am a student, and I'm a student of life. And all I'm doing is sharing what I have learned along the way in life. So to me, I believe sometimes, if not most times, we come short of our goal or our desire because we don't understand two things. And understanding these two things are what's going to get us to where we want to be, right? And that's understanding your what and understanding your why. And I'm gonna try and break it down to the best that I can in the way that I understand it, and seeing if you understand it the way I understand it. And it's like this. Your what is, to me, it's like, what's the goal? What's the purpose? Like, what is the end product? What do you want to be when this is done? What do you want to obtain? What do you want to, what is it all for? Like, when somebody says, what do you want to get out of all this? What are you going to say? That house, that relationship, that car, that job, that destination, whatever it is, it's that thing that you want at the end of it. Like, what do you want to be? You know, they always used to ask you, what do you want to be when you get older? What is it that you want to have? What is it that you want to obtain when you get older? Do you understand what it is that you want? Do you understand what it is you're trying to get at the end of all of this? Do you understand what the end goal is for you? You know, if somebody says to you, what is this all about? Can you explain it? You know, when people ask me about what's the end goal? My end goal is to impact that one person or multiple people to believe that impossible is nothing. Like, you don't have to be extraordinary or superhuman to make certain dreams, visions, or aspirations come true. Like, you can do it by being the person that you are. You know, that's the what. The what is to reach millions of people across the world. You know, that's the what. And I understand it to the point where if somebody asks me, they think I'm crazy. Or they think, but why, man, you didn't go to school to study that. And I'm like, no, I didn't. But that's what I want to do. That's what I want to happen. That's what I want to be. You know, that's what I see my future looking like. What do you see in the future on this journey that you're on? Like, what is the end goal? Where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself obtaining from it? You know, and you have to make sure you understand that what, to the point that when you're drawing out a plan or storyboard, you can illustrate that what, that somebody can start to understand the vision that you see and what you're trying to make happen. And you notice it in everything. Like, that's what related. What are you trying to achieve? What is the end goal? What do you want to come out of all of this? When people ask you these things, it's to see if you understand your what. You know, if you understand the what, the reason for doing what you're doing, Well, yeah, because the reason for doing what you're doing is what is what leads to the what. Okay, and I think sometimes we get confused with what. Sometimes we mix what with when. Sometimes we replace what with should. Well, it should be this. Well, what I'm hoping for, or what should be the outcome, is this. Should is just basically saying so. There's a possibility it won't happen then, and then that means there's a possibility that you might change your mind. And you know, that's just because you don't understand your what, and that's just my opinion. You don't understand the what. And the thing is, here's the thing: when you understand the what in what you're doing, then the miracle of why starts to show. And with this miracle of why, you start to breathe a form of life into your what. And your why is what motivates you. Now, you've probably heard this before: know your why. You've probably seen the slogans: no alarm needed, my why wakes me up in the morning. Do you understand? And yeah, they're catchy catchphrases. And I've listened to the likes of Inky Johnson, Uncle Les Brown, Eric Thomas, and they explore the why a lot. There is Tony Robbins and everybody else, but I like to listen to those three guys, and they really talk about exploring, understanding your what and your why. Do you understand? And when they put stuff like no alarm clock needed, my why wakes me up, you have to ask yourself, do you understand your why? What is your why? Now, if your why is solely just for you, you might find it hard to go after what you want. You may find it a struggle because if it's just you, then you know what to do or how to console yourself when you're not hitting your target. You know how to make yourself feel okay. Sometimes we're okay letting ourselves down when we don't get where we're supposed to get, when our why is only about ourselves. And if you're really being honest with yourself, you're cheating yourself already. So when they say to you, what's your why? You need to understand, why are you doing this? Like, who is it all for at the end of the day? What, why won't you quit? Why are you still here? Why are you still doing this? Like, just let it go, man. Why are you after this, man? Do you and then you need to be in a place to turn around and say to you, say to them, do you understand why I'm doing this? Like, I'm not doing this just for me. Some people, they ain't doing it just for themselves. They're doing it because they want to leave a legacy for their children, or for their children's children, or for their loved ones. Some people, they do it because they've probably been given only a period left to live, and they need to get it done before they exit this world. Some people do it because that's all they know. Some people's why is because that's all they want it to be about, and some people's why can be because they want to prove to themselves it's possible. I remember when I was training in the early days of working out, and I sat down with my coach at the time, Cheryl, lovely woman, now she's in lifting. And I remember sitting down with her, and we were going over revamping the current program that she'd written for me, and the diet and stuff like that. And she was like, you know what, if things don't go a specific way, it'll be all good because we'll just tweak it later on. And I was like, I can't do that. She was like, why not? I'm like, this is all I have. This is all I know. Like, I have made sure there is nothing to get in the way of this. There is no dating. There's no social life. There's no nothing. Like, I have to prove that it's doable, that I can do it. Like, I have to prove to a point that I can do it. Because if I can do it, then anytime my children turn around and say I can't do something, I can stand there and say, no, you can. Because when things were tough for me, I did it. So you can do it. So I have to prove it's possible. I got nothing else. Like everything I have and I am at that point in my life is all for this. You know, like that's the reason why I wake up at stupid o'clock. That's the reason why I'm the last person in the gym. That's the reason why I'm checking in at the gym at 12 midnight. Because I have to prove that it's doable for myself. So if anybody else says to me, I can't do it, I need to be able to say to them, nothing is impossible. Unless you don't really want it. You know, and that was my level of why then. The reason why I do what I do now is because I know how it feels to feel like you can't say what's in your mind or in your heart. I know what it feels like to feel like you can't do something, or you're not bright enough or smart enough or confident enough to do it. Like I know what that feels like. So if I can reach out and talk to the masses and connect with one person and let them feel like, damn, I can do that too, then I'm happy. And that's why I do it. And obviously I want to leave something behind for my children. So my children can, if they can take the fact of my daddy did this and my daddy did that, I can do this and I can do that. I'm leaving them something valuable. You know, like that's my why. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I recorded this video once already this afternoon, and literally while I was editing it, it literally just disappeared. Like I'm recording the second time. Why am I doing that? Because I said that I will record on a Monday, on a Wednesday, and a Friday, and I have to stick to my word because it's important for me to be a man of my word, and it's important for me to deliver to you guys what needs to be delivered at the time it's supposed to be delivered. That's why I'm doing it. That's why we're here. You know? So you have to understand your why. And you have to understand your why to the point where nobody else can deter you from it. So when it's raining, when you ain't got the money, when you're tired, when you're crying, when the lights are not working, when your friends have turned their back on you, when the opportunity slips through your fingers, when it feels like all the doors are being shut in your face, when it feels like the alarm clock in your mind won't wake you up to go, then that alarm clock in your heart, your why, should be the one to wake you up to go. You know, my dad always said you're the architect of your own life, you know, and I took that as being the architect of your own life is what do you want to create and why do you want to create it for your life? Those two things. Understand your what, understand your why. When you understand your what and you understand your why, then the how becomes available because you know what you want, you know why you want it. So now the how is there to transport you from why to what, or from here to what, with why as the catalyst and your motivation. But if you don't know what you want, if you don't understand what you really want at the end, you don't understand why you want it, how is the how going to help you? Because how don't even know what you want, and how don't even know why you want it. So you're going to have a whole lot of how, and you don't even know how to use your how. You don't need to use the how to help your what or your why, because you don't know, you don't understand either one of the two. And nobody else can understand it for you if you can't understand it for yourself. And that's why it's important, and that's how I see it. Like if you don't understand what you're doing, and you don't really understand the what you've not planned it out, you don't have a blueprint, you don't have a storyboard, you don't have some notes on a piece of paper, or you don't have notes in your mind or in your heart on what you want, so that if somebody comes to you and says, what are you trying to make happen here? You know, if you can answer that question confidently and clearly to yourself, not to them, but to yourself, because people don't always buy into your ideas, they buy into you. It's you. Like what I'm doing right now, other people are doing it. The only reason why people are turning up to listen is because it's me. It's me. So people don't always buy into the idea, they buy into the person because of how passionate they are about what they're doing and why they're doing it. And you have to ask yourself, what is it that you really, really want? And why do you want it? I have this conversation with my children. They sometimes say to me, Dad, when I get older, I want to get a tattoo. And I'm like, sure, because I can't say no, I've got tattoos. I don't want to be a hypocrite or double standards, but I always ask them, why do you want it? And if they say, because you've got it, I'm like, it's a firm no. Like, yeah, you need to understand what you're asking for, and I need to understand why you want it. And it don't always have to make sense to me. It's got to make sense to you, and it's got to be something that is directly from you, and not you just copying what you see. Because we're not all born to just follow. Some of us are born to lead. And when you're leading, somebody will ask you, where are we going? And why are we going there? And if you can answer either one of those two confidently and understand it so that you can make them understand it, then no one ain't coming behind you. And the how to get there ain't going to reveal itself to you. Or if it does, you're not even going to know what to do with it. You're not going to understand how to maneuver it. And that's on nobody else but yourself, man. And the only reason why I'm talking like this passionately today, like this, is because this is how I used to be once upon a time. When I first started doing Instagram stories and podcasts, I always spoke about why. What's your why? What's your why? What's your why? What motivates you? What's your why? What motivates you? What's your why? What wakes you up? What's your why? What's your why? What's your why? You know, and I've been doing so much other stuff, that I'm really grateful for. That I wanted to remind people how I got here, and I got here by understanding my what. What is it that I want to do? Why do I want to do it? The how, YouTube, podcasts, social media, that all started to work for me when I understood the what and I understood the why. Before then, these were just cool things to do, and I watch videos on YouTube and I watch the other guys doing their stuff, and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. But who's going to listen to me? Or man, I wish I had that kind of confidence. But how am I going to get that? It was only until I sat down and thought, well, why do you want to do that? You did so many other things you could do. I didn't go to school or university to study this. So why do you want to do it now? No, really, why do you want to do it? Like, asking myself, what do you want to prove? You want your voice to be heard? Why? Or you want one person to be able to connect with you and believe that impossible is nothing, but why? Oh, because you found your power voice. Okay, but why? Because you know what it feels like to have people doubt your ability. Why? Because growing up, you experienced it yourself. Right? And don't get it twisted, man. When I was younger, I was known to quit a lot of things, man. I'd start stuff and quit it. I'd start so many different things, get almost good at it, or get good at it, or get manageable at it, and then I'd quit. And I thought I was quitting because I didn't know how to deal with fame of when I get good at it. Turns out I didn't really understand why I was doing it, and I didn't understand what I wanted to do at the end, like what was the end goal. I didn't understand my why, and I didn't understand the what. And because I didn't understand the why, I didn't understand the what, and my why wasn't motivating me enough, I lost interest. And that's what's going to happen to you, man. You're going to lose interest if you don't understand why you really want to do it. And it don't have to be anything extravagant, man. The what don't have to be anything extravagant. The why don't have to be anything extravagant, man. It's just got to be what's passionate to you. It's just got to be something that is yours for you to bring out to the world. And your why is what's going to motivate you. It's going to drive you. It's going to encourage you. And then other people are going to see, and they're going to join in, and they're going to help you. And that's the how. But if you don't understand your what and your why, the how ain't going to happen. Or it ain't going to happen in the way you want it to happen. And that's just real. That's not even me being bad mind. That's not me being saying that. That's not me being counterproductive. That's just real, man. Understand what you want. Break it down. Write it out if you have to. Really just break it down. And then ask yourself, why? Who are you doing this for? Why is it so important to you? Why? Like, when all else fails, what inside you is going to keep you in the race? What's going to keep you going when everything else around you is saying, don't do it? Because that's what's going to happen, man. There's going to be a lot of stuff in life that's going to keep you down. Yo, man, there was times when I've been doing this when my job, day-to-day job, was like threatened. There was times when I was trying to train, right? And then that's when I'll be, getting in relationships with women who don't understand the fact that I enjoy my training. Bearing in mind, I've had a conversation about this, how intense I like to train, like there's a goal. And I was like getting in relationships where they were like, oh, you train too much, you work out too much, you don't have time for me. I have had situations where I've had conversations where it's like, you're doing all this stuff, what time have you got for your personal life? And, I almost wavered. I was like, oh, you know what, maybe you got a point there. But then there's voice in the back of my head is like, yo, bro, wait a minute. You had a conversation with yourself about how important this is to you and why you want to do it. Anybody that's going to come your way, that's going to walk alongside you, will understand your why and the what. And they won't make you, just like you would have, I don't want to use the word burden, but just like you won't make them feel guilty about what you're after, they won't make you feel guilty about what you're after. And the how will present itself where you'll be able to balance both things out. I'm not saying make sure you understand your what and your why to the point where you alienate yourself from anything or anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying understand your what and your why so that nothing will veer you off course that doesn't need to veer you off course. Or enough to keep you going, even if it means you have to slow it down a bit, but not stop moving completely. Because yes, life does happen, and love, romance, other responsibilities, and other tasks and other situations do occur in life, and life will not pause because you're on your what you're on your what and your why journey. Life doesn't stop for that. I get that, but it doesn't mean you got to stop either. You can slow down the pace because if you know why you're doing this, really important. It doesn't really matter how long it takes for you to get there, as long as you get there, right? But what I'm saying is don't quit, because if you quit, then that means your why that you're talking about weren't really the reason why, because you won't quit. You'll keep doing it because the what you said is important to you, and the why you claimed was the reason why you're doing it, and the how is still here waiting for you to utilize it. You feel what I'm saying, guys? Anyway, that's just my 2 pence. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please leave a comment in the box below. Like I always say, live your life one step, one rep at a time. Think strong, be strong. And remember, impossible is nothing. Understand your what, understand your why, and the how will make itself available. Take it easy, guys. Peace.